for round 3 of water. We got a little bit in there right now, but we're not up past the pump, so we got a ways to go. This will be round 3. It should be interesting. We resealed inside the pond, threw some concrete down on the inside wall, sealed that hole with concrete, repond shielded everything, threw some concrete down in here, over here, we had a leak over there, repond shielded all that. It is like a rock down there now. Hard as, pretty hard. So, we'll see what happens. What's up, everybody? Appreciate you coming in. Decided to come home and put some water in the pond. I couldn't help it because I came out this morning before we took videos and I was like, man, this stuff hardened up nice. And one of the reasons why is because I put a little extra hardener in the pond shield, so it would harden up a little bit faster than normal, and it's like a rock. So we should have hopefully sealed up everything. We also did a little adjust. You notice that there's a rock up here. Let me take this fan off. So what I did was I sealed up the hole right here. And the reason I did this is because we had a leak and I wasn't able to pinpoint the leak. And that was a problem. It was somewhere in the vicinity down in that hole there. Excuse me. But what I did was just seal the whole thing up, sealed it up from underneath. I have a feeling it was backflowing. So we sealed up everything under there. So water should come off here, hit here. It's going to splash though, because we had splash when there was no hole here. So now when water hits here, it's really going to splash. So what I'm thinking is I found this rock with that curve in it, and it kind of fits just right in a certain spot here. Right in here somewhere maybe. I don't know. Once we get the water running, we'll see how this fits the best. Maybe just like that. That was it. It's kind of like a foot almost, or like a ball cap, depending on which way you're looking at it. But as soon as we get enough water in the pond, we will turn the pump on, let the water flow through the creek, and check for leaks. I was telling myself while I was redoing everything, I was like, this son of a bitch leaks now. It was meant to leak. But we will have to fix it if it leaks. If it takes us 10, 20 times. Do the best we can while we're doing it. I mean, like I said, yeah, fingers crossed, exactly. I'm pretty sure. But I was pretty sure the first time. And the second time. Now here we are on the third time. So, fingers crossed. I went over it with a fine-tooth comb though this time. I don't know how I missed the hole last time. I mean, I was just in a hurry, I guess. You know how you get when you get into something and you start working for an hour or two into it, and you just kind of want to hurry up and finish what you're doing. And that's when, for me, bad things happen. I just skip steps. I want to hurry up. The ADHD in me starts to take over. Yeah, it was meant to be, exactly. That's what I said. I was like, why fight what was meant to be? But no, we'll have to fix it if it leaks. First step is the pond. We're up past we're up past our point. So we're good so far. It's still a little wet from the last time. Excuse my voice, man. That bong hit me. It's still a little moist from the first time or the second time. This is the third time. And you can still see some moisture right through here where it leaked. Yeah, the 3-car garage. Yeah, this is only 500 square foot. So this is basically a tiny 2-car garage. But it hasn't been a car garage ever, I don't think. My grandfather had this, and it was a basically chemical factory over there for his peach trees, and then everything else in here was just 60 years of junk. Lots and lots of junk. Like I said, I put a little extra hardener in the pond shield. It hardened up a lot faster. We didn't use as much. Basically, when I mixed it, I added maybe a cup more hardener than I was supposed to, maybe a half a cup. And that hardener really, because we had so much pond shield on here already, you know what I mean? So on the new cement, you can see the new stuff. We basically just put extra pond shield and extra hardener in that pond shield, and she hardened up like a rock quickly. So we'll see. We had a leak here, we had a leak there, we had a leak up in there, we had a leak over there, and we had a leak in the pond right here. I think we're good on the pond. I do not see any even moisture. Pretty sure we're good on that. I put an extra concrete, extra pond shield. Some bitch leaks now. Like you said, it was meant to leak. Or I'm just horrible at throwing down concrete. One of the two. We're close to being able to turn the pump on. Was the plug? Yeah, don't forget to put the plug in the boat. It's kind of not funny because just over the weekend we had a dude drown out here in the reservoir. It's kind of a sad story. And my neighbor came over here while I was actually in here, and I heard somebody yelling, and I opened up the door, and my neighbor was standing out here. Him and his wife were standing out here in the yard, and he was like, "Do you hear somebody screaming for help?" And I was like, "No, I'm in the garage. I didn't hear nobody." He was like, "Somebody's screaming for help." And next, maybe 5 minutes later, even just sirens, police, and then come to find out, somebody put a boat in the water over there. Apparently, 34-year-old man, supposedly avid fisherman, was, known for being out on the water. Didn't put his life jacket on. I don't know if he must have fell, hit his head, knocked himself out, and drowned. I don't know what happened, but it was a sad story. Yeah, Bart. What's up, Bart? Yeah, construction should happen. That's for sure. Especially when you are, this is not what you do for a living. But I did have a little bit of experience in throwing some concrete. But I just got in a hurry over here. That's all. Yeah, it was a sad day. Like, I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. Like, it's a public boat landing, so people come out here all. But the crazy thing is, there's no motor boats. It's like it's a reservoir. Like it's electric motor only. People just bring their little John boats out here, their kayaks. Uh, it's electric only. So it's not like he was like speeding around doing dumb stuff. He just put the boat in and went out, and his girlfriend dropped him off. Didn't Was still in the parking lot, from what I understand. Of course she was, because she saw him flabbing, and obviously she couldn't swim either, because she just was sitting there on the side of the shore of the dock over there, screaming and hollering for help, while she watched her husband. And they just and the real sad thing is they had a 6-month-old baby. I hate to throw that out there, but that's the facts of the matter. And I just couldn't believe it's not an avid fisherman doesn't know how to swim. It just breaks my mind, like, because I've lived out here my whole life. That's one of the first things my parents taught me how to do, swim. But that's me. People grow up in different places. A lot of people don't know how to swim. But if you're going to go fishing and you're going to be an avid fisherman, you ought to at least have a life preserver on and know how to swim. But like I said, he could have fell, hit his head, had a heart attack. None of this information has come out. It just happened Sunday. What's up, Galaxy? Yeah, we're throwing water in. I think it's time to turn the pump on. We've got enough water in here right now. I'm going to turn this pump on and get a mess going up in this place. Get us a mess to clean up. I got the shop vac on standby. Could get nasty in here. All right, here we go. Shit, I kind of put myself in here. I'm gonna go under. I'm not getting a whole lot of splash. That's on low. That's the lowest level right there. That is the lowest setting on the pump. Please don't leak. Can't see nothing with glasses on. All this was wet before, so I'll know. Trust me, it'll puddle up. We got a leak over here. It will puddle up. Decent little waterfall there. And if I turn the volume up on that, that's going to increase. So we can always turn it up. And that rock is blocking the splash. You see that splash that would be going in, but it's hitting that rock and diverting it. So that's good. We'll have to insert that. Little concrete there. Oh, we're going to create some rapids. We got rocks for that. We got a whole mess of rocks over here. We're going to put it in the creek. These are all for the creek, and these are for the creek too. This is one I really am interested in. And then a bunch of rounds. Oh, there it goes. At least we got the height right on the drop in. So if you don't get this right here, this drop in, compared to your creek and where you want the water to level off in, that will rise up higher and go over your creek walls before it goes over back into the pond. So it's very important to get your height right here so that your water will do what you want it to do. I still have plenty of room to put, because you got to remember all of this is going to be filled with pea gravel, sand, silt, clay. And I don't see any leaks, guys. We're looking good. No leaks. You can really hear it too. I wonder what it's going to sound like once I get the pea gravel in. I'm going to get maybe a log or something. There's probably going to be another waterfall right in here. So this will be coming down, and then we'll put the sand and silt in there, and a rock or a log will come out, and that water will hit that log and run off the tip of that log and then fall again down into the creek. That was what's in my head. Yeah, hammock is needed. Yeah. Once we'll deaden that sound a little bit once we get that, all the pea gravel and sand and silt in from the reservoir in here. We'll kind of deaden that sound a little bit, and we'll raise that up. So there's going to be a lot more water in the pond. Still got a lot of water to go. So what I plan on doing is turning this on and just letting it flow for all day, all night. Probably come back in the morning. That's the real test, overnight. It is very, kind of makes me want to put a hammock in here and sleep in here overnight just to, just to make sure nothing goes crazy. But the cool thing is that another engineering design on this is that this whole system here basically it will hold the water that's in the pond and the creek. So the pond liner that you see, that's high enough and over the wall to contain all the water. So even if it leaks, it could leak all out into the pond liner and it will not come out into the floor. The only way it would ever hit the floor is if it came up over the pond liner and then breached the concrete wall and then come over. But that'll never happen because we have a drop hole over here, just like in this one here. So the drop hole is, you can see the water down there. You can see the floor and a little bit of water. That's what's going to happen over here. So we'll dig the hole down. We'll put the walls up on the inside before we put the soil in. We'll be able to see down there how much water is in the bottom. And we can also add water if we need to, but we don't need to add water. We'll just add sand and silt to the edge of the creek. So this water table will come up, but the sand and silt that we'll put in here will just come up, mound it up over the rock wall, and bring it into the soil pocket. That wicks water as it's flowing. It'll wick that water right on up over the wall and feed our plants. I can't read. Let me put my glasses on, guys. Let me see. Well, thank you. Thank you, James. Some animals playing with the waterfall. Yeah, we could do some aquatic plants up through here. You could do, we could do a number of different things. It's going to get crazy in here. We've got all this space here, everything underneath. So another engineering design is, you can see how deep the soil is. That's a bag of soil. That's a cubic feet APSU. This is what we're going to be using. But another engineering design is that you can see that we have concrete all the way down. This is the point where the creek starts. Underneath that is, you can literally stick your hand underneath there. Roots will be able to grow down and under. Soil will be packed up underneath there. Worms and everything will be able to go under the creek, under the pond, run their roots down into the clay, down into the root zone, I mean into the E layer, in the E horizon. So this is the clay is the beginning of our A horizon and the start of our E horizon. So underneath the clay is the sand and silt that you see there, pea gravel, all from the reservoir down here we live on. So it's aquatic biology already in there. And we lay about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch clay layer over top of that to separate the soil from the reservoir. And the soil actually wicks water up from the bottom and it wicks water in from the top. So we're kind of sandwiching it. Yeah, I was trying to explain it as best I can. I've been doing it so much here lately. I'm trying to get, because a lot of people aren't understanding, and I appreciate that, Just, that the whole bed is utilized, not just these pockets. And they're deep. So they're extremely deep. Plenty of root zone space, plenty of food that's going to be in here. The roots will be able to go down and tap into a water source. If they don't want to go that deep, they'll be in the living soil. They can go underneath the creek, connecting everything. So what I hope, just like the other garden over here, is that eventually we get the perennial plants, like the trees and the bushes, to connect their rooting system, connect the mycorrhizal fungi network throughout the whole bed. And when we cut the annuals out, we simply plug and play with new annuals, and that will tap into the perennial network and go to town. That's the hope. That's the idea. Along with the biology that the creek and the pond provide to the microorganisms in the soil, it's a learning experience. This will be a learning experience. We got the new Grandmasters up. You can see the green and blue that they added to the diet. Completely redesigned on the Grandmasters. These are the brand new Borg Evolution Tarantulas. These are the old. You can see completely redesigned. And so far, I'm really digging it. You can really, it's weird how you can see the green and the blue, depending on how you look at it. So if you point your eyes down here, you see blue. If you point your eyes up, you kind of see greenish. And when you point back down, you see blue. So it's weird. And we're getting close to. We still got plenty of good water to go. We can go all the way up to that hose there. Really, this rock wall is lower than that rock wall. So this is lower than that. So if you were to look at it, it dips down right here a little lower. So we're going to bring that water up to about here. That'll drop it off right around in here and bring just underneath the exit point there. This is easy 175 to 200 gallons of water, plus what's flowing in the creek, which is pretty deep. I don't know how deep that was. It's probably another 50 to, I'd say 40 to 50 gallons. What's going on, everybody? I appreciate everybody stopping in. Yeah, everything is looking good. Everything's looking good so far. I don't have any leaks. I don't see any leaks. And if it is, it's tiny. And you probably don't care. If it's that tiny, hell with it. It ain't gonna matter. The water's supposed to be down there anyway. You know what I mean? I see where it's coming over the wall there where that rock is. You see that? You see where it's just splashing off that rock. Which we kind of knew that was going to happen. Kind of knew that was going to happen. And that's okay. It's not backflowing. It's backflowing a little off the top. See it backflowing a little off the top there, going to the back wall. See it running back. See that little line running back to the back wall? That's backflow. We can probably change that with the amount of pressure we run. Oh, we're getting close. Don't let me, my ADHD, take my eye off the fucking pond. Getting close. Just looking over here at this and seeing this water. Yeah, I see it's coming through there, right there. I see a little splash. But it's hitting here, running down, and then it's not leaking. Yeah, it's just running, hitting here. See it running down to that crack there. So we're definitely going to have to put this in here, and you can see where it's, sorry about the camera work there. Zoom out a little bit. See where it's splashing. That's nothing there. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody stopping in. We're going to fill her up. Make sure we don't have any leaks to the top. You know, we're going to get her all the way up to where we want it. We have not been this far yet. This is as far as we've been, as far as coming up on the pond. So, yeah, I don't know if it's leaking up towards the top. We're finding out right now. So far, it looks pretty good. And so all of this, you know, is going to change just because we've got a lot of sand, silt, clay, to lay down rocks that are going to go in here. This is just a leak check. This is just to make sure that we're not going to be dumping water into our E-horizon unknowingly. So we want water down there, but I don't want a constant flow. I want to be able to regulate that water. So and I regulate it through the sand and the silt that is in the creek. So simply by bringing that sand and silt, simply by bringing this stuff up and laying it on here and extending it into the creek, it will wick water up into the soil pockets to feed our plants. Along with everything else that's in that water, it will be wicked up, dissolved oxygen. So the more turbulence we can create in the water, the more oxygen we'll get. As that oxygen is pulled up, it'll get dissolved, what they call dissolved oxygen, into the soil, where the plants can then have oxygen and uptake their nutrients, hopefully with the right type of biology that we put in here. Like we did over there, we found out we can crash the system pretty easily, simply with the lights. So we know what to avoid. We are getting close. This is about where we want to be. This is about where we want to be. We're right here on the edge. I still got a couple of inches. That's pretty damn close. Okay. Now remember, we haven't been this high yet. I don't mean literally. I haven't been that high up on the walls, so I don't know if it's going to leak on the walls or not. So far, it looks good. Sorry if I don't look at the camera. I'm looking myself. And the big check will be like I'll leave here, come back in an hour, and then look and see if I see anything different. Because it may take a long time for a little leak to show up. The last time over here, it took 10 days. It took 10 days for me to find a leak, but I did it stupidly. I freaking basically put soil in the pockets before I did the leak check, so I didn't know. So, dummy. 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 Oh, I see a leak. See a leak. See it? I saw a drip. Where is that? That's coming from up here. It's coming from up there. That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. So, everything else is good. We got that. We got to put that there. We'll put that rock there. We'll cement that in. Looks like we've got a small leak up at the top there where it's backflowing. So we'll hit that with some more pond shield. That's the one spot I didn't get up underneath that rock where it's backflowing. So that's not a problem. I think all the majors are done. I think we're good. I think we're good. Instead, I was looking at that right there. That's an old pond shield. Yeah, I gotta send a damn message. Am I still live? Oh, cool. I can send a text message and just stay live. Yep. I see a drippy drippy. That's probably good. That's a tiny, tiny drip, and I guarantee you it's going through that backflow right there, up underneath that rock, and backflowing up in there and giving me a little drippy. It's almost a good drip, probably. Everything else, my friends, looks good. Maybe I'll mess around here. Yeah, I appreciate everybody hanging out and watching me do this. Sorry I haven't been paying much attention to the chat, but I've been eyeballing for leaks. I've been eyeballing for leaks. And that right there could be concerning. I don't know. Does that feel wet? I don't think. It's hard to tell. Like I said, if we got to come back and throw some pond shield on, I don't have a problem. But I don't think that's just what it was. Hard to freaking tell. That's not a leak. That's a pond shield drip. Yeah, so other than up in that hole, I think we're good. We don't have to remove, we just shut off the pump. All that water will run down. We'll just throw some pond shield up in that hole, that crack. Maybe we'll throw some concrete there first, and then some pond shield. We learned our lesson with that. I appreciate that, man. D, I appreciate it, D. Thank you very much. Benny, D, everybody showed up here. I love all you guys, girls. Even if you're not in chat, you're just hanging out watching. I appreciate you. Let's go back here. All right. So this is just splash. This is all splash. See it coming down from the waterfall. A lot of it's going right back into the pond. A lot of the splash. Look at it. I appreciate that, Danny. Yeah, well, we're learning. I don't know if I'm the best, but we are learning. I haven't found anybody else doing one like this, so I appreciate the compliment. It is, it's fun. Yeah, I see that backflow. It's backflowing all the way. Oh, hell, I see the freaking crack right there. That's where it's going. Backflowing right into that crack there, right behind the waterfall. Okay, well, easy fix. Easy fix. We don't have to drain the pond for that. Sorry, I'm looking down in here. Just stick my hand down there and get bit by a black widow or something. I don't feel any moisture. Look, that splash, it's splashing all the way out some to the middle almost of that pond. Look at that. And that's all low. Oh, you want to vote on some? Oh, we're going to be getting new fish, but we're not going to be naming the fish in here. We can name the fish that go over there, because over there, those are our pets. These are going to be for food. Like the fish that go in here are going to be like crappie and bluegill, and those are going to be what I can catch, around here at the house. And I'm going to go probably stock the pond with some crappie and a couple bluegill. And that way, hopefully we can get them to spawn and create baby crappie. And we can come in here and take fish, pick our vegetables, pick our herbs, our vegetables, go out to the grill at the gazebo and grill and smoke. So we'll be able to pull our fish, pull a tomato, maybe pull a potato, a squash. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to have shit everywhere in here. There's going to be vines up on the wall. I'll have to crawl under the vines to get to the back. Like, it's going to get stupid. It's going to get stupid in here. Like, because I don't care. I am the crazy motherfucker that'll do it. Yep, that's where that drip's come from. I see it. You can almost see the hole. And it's right, yep, that's exactly where it's coming from. A little bit of concrete. Good to go. All of this is sealed. All this is sealed. All this is sealed. That over there is sealed. We had a major leak there. That's sealed. That's good. The leak here, that's good. So it looks like we just got that up there. The rock. And that's about it. we'll check the pond. We'll come back. 'Cause like I said, it takes time for that water to get to where it's going, if it's going. But at this point, hell, the soil around the pond will wick that water up. Yeah, it's coming along. If we can we'll get that fixed probably today. We'll fix that hole up there that we see today. We'll let this run for a while. If we have to do some touch-ups in the pond, we will. But like I said, if it leaks now at this point, hell, it pretty much can leak because it's not leaking that much, so it don't matter. All the extra water is going to go down there and get wicked back up anyway. Hopefully the plants will uptake it and take that water on up, just spurt it out into the air. I'll grab it with my D-Hue and put it right back in. That's how that works. Yep. At least the creek is good, the pond is good. There's a spot over there we gotta fix, and we'll be good to go. Looking at the sidewall over here, I don't see anything. Other than that drip, right? That little tiny drip off that rock right there. All I see. Mini trout, yeah. Because I'm pretty satisfied. We've got to shut her down. We've got to seal that hole up there, so there's no reason to keep running it right now. But you know we've got to seal that up. So we're going to go ahead and shut her down. Another thing is you don't want your water to run when the power to cut off. You need your creek deep enough where all your water doesn't run back into the pond, overflow your pond. You know what I mean? But you have up to here, to your spot where it comes out at. So as long as it doesn't come up over top of that or the wall, all it's going to do is overfill into your D horizon, which is not a problem, but that's just another engineering design. You want this spot here to be deep enough to hold your water where it doesn't all drain back in. This creek will hold that water. plenty of room. Uh-huh. Quieted up in here, didn't it? Like I said, that'll silence. We'll silence that up a little bit with the sand and the silt, and probably put a log in there, hitting water. So this was the next fun part, is actually getting the water to flow and do what we want it to do. So all we got to do now is seal that up in there. Get a little, mix up a little bit of concrete. We don't need much. Other than that, we'll let this water sit in the pond and the creek for a little bit. Make sure we don't have any other leaks that we need to seal. And we'll be trying it again. So, that being said, how long has it been? 50 minutes. Not bad. Under an hour. Find out what we got to do. More information we got, better off we'll be. Connecting the two systems. Yes. The system is not connected creek-wise. It is connected through Digger's terrestrial side. So it is connected here. So soil will be all through here. Soil will be all the way up to here. We're going to fill this up with soil all the way up to here. Up to that point there, it'll be a hill that comes up and crosses over into this part here. You'll be able to access, Digger will have access to the creek here. You'll also can probably have a bridge from here to here. We have a little platform that we left over here where he can sit, get into the pond. We'll have a log that runs kind of diagonal down that way, but crawl up if he wants to. Most box turtles don't end up in the pond. They'll end up in the creek, wandering around in the creek. They don't do much pond swimming, but they will hang around water. They love water. They love the pond, but they just like to hang around the creek edge of it. That's where they find the most worms. They'll bury themselves in the soil right beside the creek where it's muddy. Crabs? Yeah, we could put crab. We had Thai, mini Thai crabs, I think, once, but it didn't make it. But I think that was because the system was too new. We put them in there too soon. And when we put them in there, the system hadn't just cycled yet, and they were unable to make it. But now that the shrimp are back in, snails are prevalent. You got plenty of freshwater snails. You can see those guys sitting on the kidney pier bag. Those snails are all over the place. You know, we just crashed the system. If you hadn't been following along, this creek we learned how far we can go, what we can do with the lights, and what we can't do with the lights. Specifically with our creek biology and the algae and the cyanobacteria that is creating the oxygen that we need for the plants to breathe. We basically killed all that, and along with that came the crash, because once the system's choked off, everything goes to crap. Basically, we created a swamp, an anaerobic swamp full of disease. And the way we fixed that was a simple water change. We did it over 3 days. We did a 25-gallon one day. We came back, we did another 25-gallon the next day, and another 25-gallon the next day. We added fresh sand, silt, clay to the edge of the creek and the center of the creek. We added in a filtration pad that we just ran our hand through the creek multiple times, catching all that stuff, removing it from the creek, and by doing so, things are starting to pop back. Our grasses are starting. See, this is what happened. You can see our grasses were dying off. Now they're coming back. We're starting to see more green on the edge. We're starting to see the algae start to build up on the edge, that green. We killed all that off, and that's what's creating our oxygen. You know, you think the water needs to be aerated, but we also have to have dissolved oxygen being wicked up. So the bacteria in this super soaked, basically sand and silt, from the reason it's being able to grow green grass is because we're keeping it from going into the swamp mode with that bacteria, that cyanobacteria that creates oxygen. It creates, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, so I don't really like to explain it, but in basic terms, it's the air. It's basically just creating oxygen in this sand, and otherwise, if it wasn't creating that air or dissolved oxygen, we would have a swamp and everything would turn brown like it did. We would overload the system with nitrates, ammonias, all the different types of gases and shit that build up that won't be removed. And we learned real fast that when you turn down the white light and turn up the red light for any period of time, doesn't take long, you kill off all that stuff. That was 13 days ago, and now we are back. Crystal clear waters. We only lost Shiner. But we didn't lose any of our mollies. We didn't lose anything else. We just lost a lot of shrimp in our Shiner. And a valuable lesson learned. Monstera over here. That's 3 feet long. That's 3 feet leaf right there. That leaf is almost 36 inches from there to there. It's like a midget. It's like a little person. It's huge. This one too. This one's like 26. And then it just keeps going. This is the newest one back here. Well, I don't know what we're going to do with that thing. I think it's going to take over the whole planet. And this is our newest one. This is one sent to us by Karma's Earth Angel. I believe she's out in Vegas or Arizona somewhere. She sent us this one that she had growing. It grows in a line, it's like a vine almost. So we're going to run this one up the wall here. When it starts, we're getting new leaves. It only had 2 leaves when we got it. And it's put off like 3 or 4 since we got it. So that should be cool. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're holding water, ladies and gentlemen. We got one leak up in the place up there, but that's not a problem. I know exactly where it is. Other than that, I think we're good. So, with that being said, it's been an hour. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. We got a little bit of creek work to do up there, but other than that, we'll just let this sit here, make sure it doesn't start leaking. If it does, we'll find it and fix it. And that being said, I hope everybody has a great rest of their day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace.